Enough is enough. Just because your son is a doctor, you think you can leech off him? That's not going to happen.
Anna, my son's wife, glares at us and starts clinging to my son, Jack.
I can't stand the idea of your parents taking the money you earned from me, Jack. Please cut ties with your parents.
Even Jack seemed taken aback by her boldness. Cut ties? We don't have to go that far. But Anna didn't back down.
Baby, why won't you listen to me? Are your parents more important to you than me?
Seeing Anna's exaggerated, tearful display, Jack panics. No, it's not like that. I'll listen to anything you say, Anna. Soothing Anna, Jack turns to us, laughing awkwardly. Sorry, Mom. So, like Anna said, I'm gonna cut ties with you now. Seems like Jack is totally manipulated by Anna. My last hope was to ask Jack, is this what you really want, Jack? Are you sure? Of course. As Jack nods affirmatively, Anna smirks triumphantly.
There's no way Jack would choose leeches like you. As a parting gift, though, make sure to give us a nice wedding gift, okay?
At her words, I made up my mind. I would not let her have her way. My name is Julie. I work as a nurse in a small hospital. I met my husband Eugene at the hospital. Eugene, who wasn't very healthy, was admitted to my hospital for checkups. Although no particular illness was found, we grew close as I gave him advice to maintain his daily life. After his discharge, we started dating and eventually got married. 2 years after our marriage, I became pregnant. Eugene was overjoyed. He respected my desire to continue working after having our child and was eager to help with child rearing. My parents also loved their grandchild. With the support of Eugene and my parents, I was able to balance my nursing job and raising our son, Jack. Our family of 3 led a peaceful life. When Jack was in his junior year of high school, he made a big decision. Mom, Dad, I've decided to go to med school. I want to become a doctor. As someone in the medical field myself, I was very glad when Jack found his passion in medicine, and I wholeheartedly supported him. Jack studied hard and managed to get accepted into med school straight from college. When we broke the news to his grandparents, they were overjoyed as well. However, another turning point was about to come in our household. Eugene decided to take an early retirement from his company. His frail health had always been a problem, and there were many days he couldn't go to work due to sickness. Taking advantage of an early retirement program seemed like the best choice for Eugene, who decided to retire at 55. Our life, with me continuing to work as a nurse and Eugene doing housework at home, went surprisingly smoothly. Jack finished his 4 years at college and was assigned to the university hospital for his residency. Upon hearing the name of the hospital, I was surprised. Isn't it great? It's the biggest hospital anyone was assigned to out of all my classmates. With Jack boasting so proudly, I felt the need to remind him. Jack, what's important is what you do, not where you are. But it seemed like my words were just mere nagging to the elated Jack. I know that. Can't you, a nurse who can only assist doctors like us, just keep quiet? Jack then completed his residency and decided to work at the university hospital as an internist. Since then, he started going out drinking on his days off and often came home late. It seemed like he was partying with women who were drawn to his title as a doctor at the prestigious university hospital. He always came home reeking of perfume. After about a year of this lifestyle, one day, Jack introduced us to a woman he wanted us to meet. Hello, soon-to-be father-in-law, mother-in-law. The woman who introduced herself as Anna greeted us without hesitation. Anna, how did you get to know Jack? When I asked, Anna answered openly. I met Jack at a social gathering back in college. I didn't think much of him then, but I reconnected with him after hearing he became a doctor at the university hospital. I see. Anna didn't even try to hide the fact that she was more attracted to the title of a doctor than to Jack himself. Meanwhile, Jack, completely oblivious to this, was grinning at Anna. I was surprised when Anna suddenly contacted me. She was the most popular girl in our circle, and now she's saying she wants to marry me. Ha ha. As we sat around the table with Anna, the conversation turned to Eugene. You're a nurse, aren't you? Soon-to-be mother-in-law? I heard you met your husband at the hospital, but was he a doctor too? My husband, Eugene, graciously answered Anna's question. No, I'm just a regular office worker, although I did take an early retirement, so I'm not working now. You're not working? So you're unemployed? Anna's eyebrows furrowed at this revelation. I don't think you call someone that retired early quite simply unemployed. Eugene tried to laugh it off, but Anna's demeanor suddenly shifted.
If you're jobless, it's the same thing.
What? Eugene was taken aback by Anna's sudden condescension, but she continued with a scoff.
It's really inconvenient for me to have a mother who's just a nurse and doesn't make much money, along with an unemployed father.
What do you mean, inconvenient? Don't you think it's inappropriate to talk like that to us, your soon-to-be in-laws? I blamed Anna, but she showed no sign of remorse.
Don't get cocky just because your son is a promising future doctor.
She sighed heavily and then looked straight at us.
Please don't come to our wedding.
What do you mean?
The professor from Jack's med school, who's also his boss, is planning to attend our wedding. It would be embarrassing if his parents were just a nurse and an unemployed father.
Hold on, it's absurd for both parents to not be attending their child's wedding.
Just tell everyone you're sick, then no one can complain, right?
But I tried to object, but it was clear that Anna's decision was firm. Eugene then turned to Jack. What do you think about this, Jack? What, me? Jack, taken by surprise, was at a loss for words. Before Jack could answer, Anna interrupted.
Enough is enough. Just because your son is a doctor, you think you can leech off him? That's not going to happen.
Anna glared at us, then starts clinging to Jack.
I can't stand the idea of your parents taking the money you earn from me, Jack. Please cut ties with your parents.
Even Jack seemed taken aback by this declaration. Cut ties? I don't think we have to go that far. But Anna didn't back down.
Baby, why won't you listen to me? Are your parents more important to you than me?
She exaggerates her crying for effect. Panicked, Jack responded. No, that's not it at all. If it's your request, I'd do anything. Jack, who managed to calm Anna, addressed us with a foolish smile. I apologize, Mom, but I'll have to go with Anna on this one. We're cutting ties with you guys. It seems like Jack is totally manipulated by Anna. Betting on my last hope, I asked Jack, Is that really what you want, Jack? Are you sure about this? Of course. Jack replied with a nod. Anna, looking triumphantly, retorted,
There's no way Jack would choose leeches like you. As a parting gift, though, make sure to give us a nice wedding gift, okay?
Days later, an invitation for their wedding arrived at our home, with the regretfully declined box already checked. The invitation even had a section saying, Please send your gift cards to the following address. As I was flabbergasted, our home phone rang. It was my father. Julie, we just received an invitation to Jack's wedding, but the regretfully declined box is already checked. It also has an address suggesting us to send gift cards to. What on earth is going on? It appears that Jack and Anna sent the same invitation to my parents as well. Seeing Anna and Jack trying to abandon not only their real parents, but also his grandparents, who loved Jack dearly, I felt a surge of anger. I absolutely won't let things go Anna's way. I told my father about the time Anna came to our house. They're saying they want to cut ties with me. It seems they don't want me at their wedding. Hearing my story, my father was bewildered, but I asked, Dad, I have a request. On the day of the wedding, can you go with me to Jack's ceremony venue? But Jack doesn't want us there, right? I don't intend to attend the ceremony. Apparently a professor from the university hospital, who is also Jack's boss, will be there. I'd like you to tell him about what's happening when you see him at the venue. I see. Okay. If Jack has cut ties with you guys, it's essentially the same as cutting ties with his grandparents as well. My father, who had figured out my plan, willingly agreed to go to the venue with me. In addition to that, I did my best to verify Anna's reputation before the wedding day. The day of the wedding arrived. When my father and I arrived at the venue, Anna and Jack were surrounded by their invited colleagues who were all doctors. I heard your parents are unwell. What a shame. It's your wedding. Well, it is what it is, Jack answered with an awkward smile. A professor approached Jack, also posing the same question. Why isn't your grandfather here? Surely he wasn't left out of the invite list, right? Thank you for your concern about my grandfather. I haven't seen him in years, so it's no big deal. He might even be getting a bit forgetful by now. Unaware of the professor's puzzled expression, Jack remained nonchalant. My father, who had been watching from the sidelines next to me, could no longer contain his frustration and walked over to Jack and his group from behind a pillar. Who did you say is forgetful? At the sound of my father's assertive voice, Jack and Anna turned around. Who is this old man? Beside a puzzled Anna, Jack's eyes went wide. Grandpa, what are you doing here? Then, spotting me beside my father, he became furious. And Mom, too? I told you not to come since we've already got ties. Jack's superiors glanced between him and my father, whispering amongst themselves. That man is... Yes, indeed. Could it really be him? What does he mean by cutting ties? As the doctors started to murmur, the professor asked Jack in a stern voice. What do you mean by cut ties, Jack? Oh, well, about that. Jack started to panic. Before he could respond, Anna intervened. Jack's jobless father tried to leech off him who has a promising future, she exclaimed before I could rebut. We couldn't let such parasites meet esteemed individuals like you, Professor, so we politely asked them to refrain from attending the wedding. With a look of disdain, Anna continued while glancing at my father and me. I can't believe they actually showed up at the venue. Bringing along a shabby old man like him, did they think they would earn everyone's sympathy? Regardless of the number, parasites are nothing but a nuisance. At the word parasite, Jack's bosses urgently start speaking to Anna. Well, what are you saying, miss? What am I saying? It's the truth, isn't it? Jack agreed that his family shouldn't be invited to the wedding, right, Jack? Yeah, Anna's right. If you think being blood-related means you get away with anything, you're dead wrong. Even if you're family, I won't let them harm my bright future and career. At Jack's confident declaration, the doctors turned pale. Jack, you really don't know, do you? What don't I know? At Jack's surprised look, his boss doctors simultaneously disclose. Your grandfather standing there is the former deputy director of our hospital. What? There's no way, right, Mom? Jack, looking worried, turns to me. I tell him the truth. It's true. Dad was the deputy director of your university hospital. No way, you never mentioned it. Jack looks intently at my father, and my father tells him. I was asked to keep it from you by Julie because we didn't want to put unnecessary pressure on you. Pressure? I explained to Jack. When I became a nurse, my father was already a respected doctor in the hospital. Being the daughter of such a capable man was pressure to me. I didn't want you to feel the same. So you kept it from us? The professor turns to Jack with a stern look. Your grandfather is my mentor. Calling my dear mentor a parasite is extremely offensive. And the fact that you don't even appreciate your parents and family, who've supported you this far, I'm disappointed in you. Under the cold gaze of the professors, Anna rushes to cling to my father and me. We really did want to invite my in-laws. Since you're here, please attend the ceremony. I'm just amazed at Anna's quick change of attitude. I firmly tell Anna, I decline. The only reason we came here today was to make it clear to the guests why we couldn't attend the wedding. We have no intention of attending the ceremony.
But we're a family. Don't you care about Jack?
Family? Weren't you the one who said you wanted to cut ties with us? We're not a family or anything. We're strangers. My father backs me up. When my daughter cuts ties, that means I lose my connection as a grandfather, too. It seems my daughter has had her say, so we have no more business here. Mom, Grandpa, please wait for me. Jack weakly muttered. The professor, as if to add insult to injury, said, Being a doctor involves facing and working with people. If you can't respect your family and elders, you're not fit to be a doctor. It seems you'd better grow as a person in a local hospital, not in our university hospital. You mean, get yourself transferred to a hospital in our rural network. You mean I'm being sent to the countryside? Anna glares demonically, while looking at Jack, who was stunned. Rural assignment? You must be joking. I only married you because you were working at the university hospital. Anna confronts Jack, shrieking about divorce. I'll make sure you pay alimony. Anna never really intended to support Jack as his wife after all. There was no longer any reason to be considerate of Anna. Anna, you're the one who's going to be paying alimony. My words surprised Anna. She looked at me. What? Why should I have to? Anna, you've been having an affair, haven't you? What? Suddenly, Anna began to panic. What kind of evidence do you have to make such an accusation? I laid out several photos in front of the flustered Anna. They showed Anna snuggling up to an unknown man like a couple, entering a hotel. I asked your classmates about what they thought of you, Anna. They testified about the affair, and I've been investigating ever since. Here's the proof. Upon seeing the photos, Jack started to shake. Anna, you were meeting this man behind my back? It's not what it looks like, Jack. Hear me out. Why should I? I don't want to hear any excuses. Disgusted by their ugly argument, the guests following Jack's father started to leave one after another. The squabble continued until the venue staff had to intervene. By the time they realized, there were only a few guests remaining. The situation was far from conducive for a wedding, so the event was called off. Jack went straight to the city hall to collect divorce papers. I have no intention of continuing to live with a cheater.
No way, without your prestigious university hospital title, you're nothing appealing to me at all.
Both stubborn and resentful, the two swiftly went through with their divorce. Subsequently, Jack received an official resignation notice from the hospital and was transferred to a hospital in the country. Working alone in the countryside, Jack seemed to be realizing his own immaturity as a doctor. Anna, on the other hand, had to pay alimony to Jack because the evidence of her affair which I presented became the deciding factor. After distributing her assets during the divorce and using her savings to pay the alimony, Anna, seemingly unrepentant, was spotted lurking around a university hospital, desperately trying to charm young single doctors. However, word of her divorce had spread throughout the hospital, and not a single doctor was willing to fall for Anna's advances. Still, Anna couldn't give up her aspirations to be a wife of a doctor working at the university hospital. She had become quite famous in the hospital as the desperate old lady chasing after doctors. Meanwhile, I've been continuing my job as a nurse. Eugene's health has become stable recently, and he's taken a great interest in cooking as his new hobby. Every time I come home from work, I'm greeted with delicious dinner prepared by my husband. While cherishing this happiness, I made a vow in my heart to continue this life with the ones I love.